Welcome everyone to another episode of Terrain Studio. I'm your host, Shawn Morris. Tonight on the Terrain Studio, I have for you another sort of unboxing slash product review. So before you hear on the table and in studio, we have the Battlefield in a Box Flames of War set produced by Gale Force 9. This is the Cratered Roads. So it's the Rural Roads with the Crater additions. So the box itself contains 5 pre-painted cratered rural roads, and like I said, it does come fully painted. It's for 15 to 10 millimeter scales. For product reference, if you're looking on the Battlefront website, it is product BB143. I thought I'd do a review of this. It just arrived. It was a little bit delayed from the craters themselves. So if you look back a couple videos, you'll see the review I did on the craters. And then this is the cratered road. So what we'll do is we'll do an unboxing here, and then maybe at the end of the video we'll kind of put the two products together just to kind of give some indication of how they may be used together on a tabletop. So without further ado, let's get cracked into this box. I'm just going to reach for the hobby knife here. Okay, so we'll set this to the side, and then we'll open up the plastic here. Alright, so hopefully you guys can see. I know there's a little bit of glare from the light. Maybe try to turn those away just a little bit without giving too much shadow. Okay, so before we get into the box itself, let's have a look at the back of the box. I'd like to just give you some indication of what it has on here. So here you have the 5 road sections pictured. For scale-wise, these are at a 50% scale, and then shown down here is your medium base. It does include your green grass and your meadow blend, so that's for doing the edges in the center of the road. Not something you necessarily have to add, but certainly something you can add to pick up some detail. I would recommend that if you are going to just place them on a generic board, that maybe you would want to use these items to spruce up the edges. However, if you're putting them on or incorporating them into your own tabletop, perhaps saving and using some of the flock you actually use for the rest of the table, just to give that that sort of symmetry or that tie-in between the board and the roads. Certainly, if you're going to add them on top and have them removable, when they're laid down, you'll sort of blend those seams together and take away from the edge of the road. In addition here, what it says is you get one 6-inch T section, you get one 6-inch crossroad intersection, 2 6-inch cratered rural roads, one 6-inch curved cratered rural road, one pack of static grass, another pack of static grass. So, and then also they give the tie-in down here. So products you may want to pick up would be, this one here is not products you want to pick up, but products that were covered on the front cover. The rural roads, the craters, the small pine woods, and of course this set itself. These are considered rubble, much like the craters, so they are considered very difficult going, blocking all but tracked vehicles and infantry. So that was already discussed with the craters, but again, if you didn't see that video, just give you a bit of product info there. So let's go ahead and open up these. So unlike the other ones, you're going to notice these come in a foam package, not a box. I guess you can't see that because I have it off camera. I'm going to be a little bit more stubborn to get out. Yeah, as I fight with it. Ooh, I guess they really don't want to come out. Wow. I will eventually get this unboxed. Not quite sure what's causing the problem here. Oh, there we go. I guess it was a little bit of tape that was turned up. Okay, well, now that we got that taken care of, just going to cut away the tape. Some of the tape had been turned up and was just sticking to the inside of the box. Alright, so we're just going to open that up. Again, you can use this as a resealable storage until you find more suitable conditions. So bubble wrap off the top. You're going to notice that this one here has some light cellophane in between, unlike the wax paper in the other one. So I'm not really sure if this is the new style or if the wax paper was, but certainly this is used to prevent the roads from sticking together. Right off the bat, you're going to notice that the craters are pretty substantial, fairly deep, upwards of a ½ centimeter. I would wager here. Again, the curved section is something that is very vital in terms of using the road sections. I find the curves are one of the most utilized pieces. Again, if you have the rural roads, they match up quite nicely. So there's no craters at the seams, which is nice, obviously, because that adds to the versatility, meaning you can match this up to another cratered section or to a plain rural road section. So there's one. As we peel through the layers here, we have a heavily cratered 6-inch straight section. So very cratered. So I can get where they get the idea of being impassable, because if you look at that, there is no lanes to be driving through at all to that. Here's a rather large piece here. This is a T section. Again, this piece is very cratered, very much impassable, and you can almost see how you could create a little defensive position just at this intersection here. You can almost imagine your infantry sort of dug in around these craters, defending this maybe this vital crossroads here. Crossroads being mentioned, here we have the intersection piece. Again, with the centrally placed craters, you can really see how this would be defensible, and also explain why this is such a heavily bombarded area, being maybe a crucial point on the table or something like that. So story sort of develops right out of the box about why the pieces are maybe modeled the way they are. So I'm really kind of impressed with the product itself. Craters are something a lot of people comment. They're very simplistic to model, but you got to take into account, do you have the ballast material? Do you have the knowledge to create these sort of things? How are you creating such raised areas? Do you have the maybe the plastic card or the foam to do that? Do you have to go out and buy foam? Do you have the proper paints? Do you have the large scale ballast rubble? All those things that you need to kind of account for before you just immediately dismiss the cost of the product. And then the time is not even factored in there. So even though I make terrain a lot, sometimes I weighed my time and material usage versus what the product actually costs to pick up. So sometimes it's just fun, to pull something out of the package, place it down on the table, and then immediately start playing. So you got to account how much time do you want to invest in making something that, yes, maybe it is simplistic to make, but or do you want to invest your time in enjoying the product, and sometimes splurging or going out and maybe spending a bit more money than maybe perhaps than you'd like to on something that would be very used. I mean, you're going to get a lot of use out of this. It's very durable. You got a lot of flex to this. If you did this on a piece of wood, for example, and you did this with foam, you wouldn't be able to get this sort of bend, this sort of flexibility and durability out of something like that. You would have this hard, rigid piece that needs to be stored and can't have anything stacked on it. Versus, you can really come onto these things. So something has to be said for the product itself, and maybe you can't see that sort of stuff on a video, but when you get it in your hands, you can maybe appreciate it a bit more. And here we have the other 6-inch crater section. So just looking at the two of them there, you can see that there is some differences, albeit subtle, but clearly there is some differences in those sections. So, and then of course your static grass, don't really need to cover those again, but in the other video I kind of talk a little more about them. So let's just go ahead and move the packages out of the way and have a look at the sections. Maybe we'll just sort of line some up here. Just imagine this very, very heavily cratered, what looks good here, section. Okay. A little unrealistic, perhaps, the layout, but you can kind of see how it will take shape. And then bringing back in the single craters, you can set them to sort of offset, and you can pick up maybe where that strafing run has come in, or just extend that whole cratered position right out in a large area, or in between. Even some layering wouldn't be too far stretched. Putting these right on there, just getting some real cratered patches. So all in all, I'm just as happy with the cratered roads as I was with the craters themselves. I do notice that there's some slight coloration differences between these two. This one here appears to be a bit lighter, likewise with this than these. But a quick overtone if you wanted to, sort of make them all the same. But then you gotta guess or you gotta kind of speculate that all dirt's not going to be the same in all areas. So maybe there is some lighter dirt, or this is more moist than another, or maybe it's more soil than dirt, and there's all kinds of backstories you can make why they're not the same color. So variation on the table is certainly not something to be overlooked or something to be dismissed so easily. But no, I think they're a pretty good product. I'm gonna look forward to putting them down on the table. So looking at them here, I probably would be fine with one set. I don't think it's something that you really need to pick up multiple boxes of. Certainly, I'm not discouraging from doing that, but if I was going to go for a tabletop recommendation, I would say maybe 2 packs of the rural roads and then a single pack of the cratered road section. I think with those two, picking up maybe the expansion pack for the roads with your T sections and your railway crossing, I think with those 4 items you would have a great start to a tabletop. Not only a modular table, but if you were going to go for a more static build, certainly that would be a great starting point. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the review, and stay tuned for more videos. If you like them, please like, subscribe, and comment below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.